Herzlich willkommen. Ich bin jetzt hier mit dem Philipp Neo, bekannt von damals Virtus Pro, jetzt der Coach von Faze. Wir werden jetzt ein bisschen darüber reden, mit dem Development von Faze momentan in CS2 rein, die letzten 3 Monate, die Entwicklung an dem Major und CS2, wie sich weiterentwickeln wird. So Neo, you stepped into the shoes of Robban. Robban has been with Faze for quite a long time, and for you it's the first big coach gig. So has been the development been the last 3 months with the team to get into the entire scene?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Robban for like 20 years now. We've been, actually there's a quite funny story. He's my first, like a friend I met online through games. We played online before we happened to meet each other on big tournaments. Like we played online, and he played with his hometown friends, I played with mine, and we played some online leagues. And that was like 3 years before we met each other in Korea for a tournament and played against each other. And I know he's a great guy, and after I got the offer, I started reviewing their videos and like how he is as a coach. And after getting to know the guys a little bit more, I know he's a great guy to have around, and he thought, like, I don't know the word, but learned them how to be a team, and developed them as improved them as people to be a part of the team and like have the trust in the team, which is like I got here and I can see and feel the structure they have, which is just great. You have in-game leader that everybody trusts and works so hard. Everybody on this team is so professional, and so first when I got here, I was just studying them. I didn't want to ruin them. So I didn't want to do too much, and I was like taking it step by step, getting to know them as players and then as people. And just with each tournament, more time spent together, I just been learning how to deal with them. And I guess in each team you have a coach that has different things to do, right? Because in the end, I believe in a Counter-Strike team, it's the best when the 5 players themselves are able to build the structure, develop themselves, and improve everything. And if they want to do that if the team doesn't want it, no matter how good the coach is, he's not gonna force them to do things. And with this team, I got to know how professional they are and like how much of a work they put into the game and thoughts and all the process. So it's been a great journey so far. There's different things each time you can work on, either it's more of a people's problems, or if it's game, some strategies side. So it's something different each time, and I'm still, learning all of that.
So I kind of want to get into the development of Faze from the start of the year with we had David joining Frozen into the team instead of Twists, and then you had Katowice. It looked promising until the final were some struggles, but we have to be honest here. Spirit was not on the radar of most, I'm guessing, analysts and coaches at that time. Yes, Donk showed promises as a younger player, but after that we saw some in the elimination stage. There were some struggles, right? There was the Eternal Fire game was I think at that day probably everybody woke up on the wrong side of the bed and had some struggles. But what was for you as the coach? How was your role into leading into this amazing achievement of winning 2-1 against Spirit yesterday in the quarterfinal?
Like you said, the start of the tournament wasn't perfect for us, but in the end it matters that you get to the playoffs, right? No matter how. Obviously it would be better if we got 3-0, but it's never as perfect as you want it to be. Sometimes maybe, but I think coming to this game, the energy we've had felt just right. Like it was a great moment for us to play them, because after losing to them in Katowice, it felt like we already know what we're dealing with, and we know they lost to Mouse and they started being shaky a little bit. So after Katowice, we improved our map pool. We went into Vertigo pretty deep, and we knew at some point we were going to use this one. You know, funny. You know, we've had our debut with David on Vertigo here in the quarterfinal, but it just felt, you know, great coming into this game because being ranked #1 in the world and still being an underdog in this game, it just felt easier than when you have the advantage and the pressure is more on you. You know, in Katowice, the pressure, they had less pressure, I feel like, and they've been on a, like, you know, that was the perfect moment for them to, you know, to play the game. So yeah, it was just the right feeling we've had, and the vibes and energy. You know.
So I want to talk a bit. You are one of the most established players that is still inactive as a coach now. You started with 1.6, you won a major in Go, and then now you're transitioning to a coach in CS2. How has been the adaptation from your early career as a young player with 1.6 Go and now CS2? Has there been a lot of changes, or is it more you feel also that you've grown as a person, that adapting to all the travel time, the downtime, and also the stress, the physical and mental stress you have for yourself and your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long journey. I've started playing when CS wasn't, you know, professional at all. We've had like car trips to tournaments to Spain or Sweden from Poland to just play the game and enjoy it. Right now, it's so much different, fully professional, and obviously together with that, my journey has been, you know, I've learned, like, you know, CS been with me my whole life, so I've get to know how, like, living the team life is something I know and I feel natural, right? So when I was actually having a break from like playing, it felt weird not having the purpose and like the you know, the people around you, and so I was very happy I got the chance to, you know, come back. But there's been different times in my career. Like in 1.6, I was kind of the star player of the team, and when we transitioned to CS:GO, I became the in-game leader. So most of the time in CS:GO, I was the IGL, and it all helped me understand like different roles within the team. So when I became the coach, I could easier understand, you know, I was an opera at some point, so I know how opera feels. I was the IGL, so I can support Finn with, you know, his struggles. So I think, you know, it was all coming down to this in some way, to be a coach at some point, and I'm getting to know how it is. I've learned, you know, you can have a huge impact on the game just by having 3 timeouts. I think yesterday I had to ask the admin how many timeouts we've used because I lost the track, you know, the count, and I felt like I still wanted to say something to the guys, but I couldn't since there was no timeout. So it's like new things coming up with each tournament still, but I really, you know, being part of the team, especially this one, because these guys are great and, you know, amazing.
Yeah, there's quite an amazing team. I think there's not many other orgs and teams you can get that have that established roster of especially individuals in all different spaces.
Yeah.
So I want to go real quick into the major. Now your next opponent, Vitality, and then there's a chance on the other side with the favorite of Mouse now.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, preparing currently, just mentally? Are you currently just looking forward to Vitality? How do you feel your chances are to winning this major, to being getting your first major trophy as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you take it step by step, right? So we're just thinking about the first game we have. Vitality beat us last 2 finals we've had before Katowice, so we really want to get the revenge against them, and but we know it's not going to be an easy one. But when you think about the whole tournament, Mouse is also in a great moment for them. I feel like, you know, they just added like second coach or / analyst Zipnix. I don't know how to say that nickname, but they're very like good team right now. So it's like, in the end of the day, if you're planning to win a tournament, you have to beat everyone. So yeah, the first final boss.
Let's see. We'll see.
I mean, first final boss was Spirit. Now it's the second final boss, and then it's going to be third final boss if it happens. So yeah, we'll take it step by step, and we finished our game like midnight yesterday, so we haven't had the time to go in deep into the vitality game, but we're gonna prepare tonight and see what happens.
It was you're basically in like a Japanese RPG where there's a boss phase after boss phase after boss phase.
Yeah, exactly.
So last question. Since you're really established players, I think in the last few years there's been a lot of newer viewers, like younger viewers. Mm-hmm. Do they still recognize you as the Neo, the legend from 1.6 from Go? Because I feel like a lot of with the change, there's a lot of knowledge or of players that were good, so good, so great. Yeah. They kind of get forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of I guess life circle, right? Like I actually noticed it sort of happening already with CS:GO, right? You've had tons of young players that started playing with CS:GO, so they already didn't get to know the history, because right now we have everything recorded. You have votes from all the tournaments, and when you think about 1.6 times, it wasn't like that. We've had tournaments. There was sometimes no cameras, so we just played to enjoy the game and just have fun and show who's the best. And I mean, I guess it's just part of it. Unfortunately, we don't have that much stuff recorded from the old days. That would be fun to go back to that and see how it looked like. There's some, obviously some stuff to go back to, but yeah, it's part of the process, I guess.
Maybe we can reenact most of them. So I thank you very much, Neo, Philip, for this interview. It was enlightening to see your development, your process from that big career, one of the biggest. I have a small gift for you. Oh, we have some. Oh, give me a sec. There we go. I have some Swiss chocolate. One is with milk and one is with nuts.
Great.
For you to enjoy. Eddie already told me after the event, because you need your mind needs to be sharp.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you, Philip.
Thank you.
Mit dem würde ich mich hier verabschieden. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Auf ein weiteres Mal. Thank you very much, Philip.
Thank you.